Most beginner learning projects are too theoretical. You can build a dog versus cat classifier or predict house prices from historical data. It looks impressive in a notebook, but it doesn't teach you how real AI products are actually built inside a company. Machine learning isn't just about training a model. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 projects. Each project carefully mimics the exact stages of how an ML product is built inside a real engineering organization. If you don't know me, I've spent over a decade building secure, real-world tech products. My goal here is to share the playbook I wish I had when I started. If you're looking to grow in your tech career, subscribe for practical advice you can use right away. Now, before we start with project 1, let's understand the problem statement. Imagine you're a machine learning engineer for customer retention team. Every day, hundreds of voice calls come in from the customers who are frustrated, confused, or just need quick answers. These calls are recorded, but raw audio on its own is hard to use. The company wants to understand the patterns. Which calls get resolved quickly? Which ones drag on? Can we spot signals of an unhappy customer before they leave? So our starting point is a collection of customer support voice recordings. This one data set becomes the thread that ties all the 5 projects together. We will take this data set from raw audio to transcripts to features to models and finally to a deployed product that monitors performance over time. So let's start with the first project, transcribing voice calls with text-to-speech. Raw audio calls come with background noise, interruptions, accents, and transcription errors. If you don't clean them first, your model will pick up the noise and produce unreliable results. The goal of your first project is to take raw customer support recordings, transcribe them into text, and then clean that text so it's consistent and trustworthy. This project shows that before any modeling happens, the first responsibility is to make data usable. In terms of high-level technical approach, begin in Python. Use a speech-to-text system such as OpenAI Whisper or Google Speech-to-Text to convert the recordings into transcripts. Once you have text, bring it into Pandas so the transcripts can be stored in structured tables, with each row representing a call and each column capturing details like customer ID, agent ID, or call duration. From there, the cleaning work starts. You strip out filler words like or repeated phrases that don't carry any meaning. Then you correct common transcription mistakes, especially for product names or brand-specific jargon. Next, you standardize casing and pronunciation so the text looks consistent. If you encountered missing or incomplete transcripts, for example, when audio was too noisy to capture, you either repair them with another transcription pass or drop them from the dataset. At the end of this project, you don't yet have a model, but you do have the foundation for one. You finish with a set of clean, structured transcripts ready for analysis. The key learning is that in real-world ML, most of the work begins with making messy raw inputs usable. By the way, if you got a question or a different take, drop it in the comments. I'm always curious to see what you think. If this is helping you out, please like and subscribe. It tells me to make more videos like this. So back to our project. Even after transcription and cleaning, raw text isn't ready for a model. And that's where our next project comes, extracting customer signals with NLP, natural language processing. A machine learning algorithm cannot interpret plain sentences, and without guidance, it has no idea what patterns to focus on. So without this project, your model becomes a black box that guesses without context. The goal of project number 2 is to explore the transcripts and create features that make important patterns visible to the model. And this is where raw speech turns into structured signals, numbers the model can actually learn from. As before, you can continue working in Python. Start by using Pandas to explore the transcripts. Look at call lengths, the average number of words, and how often certain keywords appear. With visualization libraries such as Matplotlib or Seaborn, you can spot patterns like which calls run unusually long or which ones contain spikes of negative sentiment. For text processing, libraries like Spacy or NLTK help you break sentences into tokens and remove stop words. At this point, you can create features. For example, count the frequency of complaint words, measure the sentiment score of a call, or calculate pauses and silence durations if your transcription service preserved them. Finally, you bring in scikit-learn to turn the text into numbers. A common method is TF-IDF, which measures how important a word is by looking at how often it appears in one call compared to all the other calls. This step makes the transcripts something a model can actually work with, not just words, but weighted signals that capture the meaning. By the end of this project, you don't just have transcripts, you have features that capture meaning. You understand what the data looks like, and you have given the model a way to focus on patterns that matter. The key learning is that the models don't discover insights on their own. You define what they are allowed to notice. Now that you have transcripts turned into features, the next question is, can a model actually predict whether a support call ends well? And this is what your next project is: predicting call resolution with classification models. In real companies, this matters a lot. If you can tell which calls are likely to escalate, managers can step in early and happy customers don't slip through the cracks. So the goal of Project 3 is to take the features you engineered and train a model that predicts resolution of a call. Was the issue handled or did it escalate? This is the point where you build your first working ML system. As before, continue in Python, start with scikit-learn, which gives you a range of classification models. Begin simple. Logistic regression is often the baseline for text-based features. Then you can try naive Bayes, which works well for word frequency, or random forests, which capture more complex patterns. Split the dataset into training and test sets so you can measure how the model performs on unseen calls. Now keep in mind, evaluation is critical. You don't just look at accuracy, but also precision, recall, and F1 score, because in customer support, missing an escalation, which is a false negative, can be more costly than a false alarm. Through experiments, you compare models and hyperparameters to see what delivers the most balanced performance. By the end of this Project 3, you have a trained model that can take a new transcript and predict whether the customer's issue was resolved or not. The key learning is that the model training is only as good as the features you feed it. The intelligence comes from the structure you built earlier, not just the algorithm itself. So far, your trained model is sitting in a notebook. In a real company, people outside the AI ML team need to use it. If your model can't be accessed easily, it remains an academic exercise. The goal of Project 4 is to take the model you trained and make it available as a simple tool. Anyone in your company should be able to paste in a transcript or upload a new call and instantly see whether the model predicts it was resolved or likely to escalate. You will still use Python, but now you wrap the model inside an application. Streamlit is one option because it lets you build a lightweight web application with only a few lines of code. Fast API or Flask are alternatives if you want more control. Remember, deployment is about moving from a model works on my machine to a model can be used by others. You build a simple interface where a manager uploads a transcript, the model runs, and the prediction appears immediately. If you want to go a step further, you can host it on Hugging Face, Spaces, or another free platform so others outside the company can also try it. And if machine learning feels overwhelming, I get it. I've been there. That's why I made a free guide to help you choose the right role in AI and prep without wasting time. Grab it from the link in the description. It's free and will save you weeks. By end of this project number 4, you don't just have a model, you have a product. You learn that deployment is what makes machine learning valuable. It turns isolated experiments into tools that people actually use. Once a model is deployed, that is not the end of it. Customer behavior shifts, conversations evolve, and new product issues appear. A model that worked last month can quietly become less accurate today. If you don't track this, the system drifts and you are back to unreliable results. So the goal of Project 5 is to monitor your deployed model and catch performance drops early on. This is how you keep machine learning products useful over time. In terms of your technical approach, you extend your Python workflow with monitoring libraries. For example, Evidently can track data drift by comparing today's transcripts against the ones the model was trained on. MLflow helps you log experiments and version your models so that you know what's running in production. So why do this? Because you want alerts. For example, when customers start using a new language or accents the model hasn't seen before, you want to know if accuracy is sliding below an acceptable level. By adding a dashboard, managers can see these metrics at a glance and decide when retraining is needed. So by end of this project number 5, you don't just have a deployed model, you have a living product system. You just learned that real-world machine learning is all about maintenance, iteration, and keeping pace with the change. But here is the catch. Projects alone are not enough. Without a step-by-step learning roadmap to support these projects, it's easy to miss out on the foundations. And that's what I'll show you in my next video. How to take these projects and fit them into a clear learning path that can actually take you from beginner to AI engineer.